What's up, everyone? We have some crazy news to talk about today. As we can see in the headline, Elon Musk offers to buy Twitter for $43 billion so it can be transformed as a private company. Twitter stock initially skyrocketed off of that news, but it actually came back down quite a bit. So in this video, we're going to talk about what is going on behind the scenes with this potential Twitter acquisition, whether or not it is a good time to buy Twitter stock, and some other crazy things like what might happen like behind the scenes if Elon does buy Twitter stock, and what some large Twitter shareholders had to say about this event. So this is crazy. Looking at Twitter stock, we can see in pre-market the stock just rapidly went from like $46 a share all the way up to highs of $53.99 per share. And this is not a surprise considering that Elon is looking to pay around $43 billion for Twitter, which comes out to around $54.20 per share. So that's why we got very, very close to $54.20, but not quite there. Since then, the stock has sold off. Basically, if we look further into what Elon Musk said, we'll scroll all the way to the bottom, and we can see this is exactly what Elon said. I'm going to enlarge the screen a little bit so everyone can read it. He said, "I invested in Twitter as I believe in its potential to be the platform for free speech around the globe, and I believe free speech is a societal imperative for a functioning democracy. However, since making my investment, I now realize the company will neither thrive nor serve this societal imperative in its current form. Twitter needs to be transformed as a private company. As a result, I am offering to buy 100% of Twitter for $54.20 per share in cash, a 54% premium over the day before I began investing in it." Okay. He also said, the day before I began investing in it, and a 38% premium over the day before my investment was publicly announced. My offer is my best and final offer, and if it is not accepted, I would need to reconsider my position as a shareholder. Twitter has extraordinary potential. I will unlock it. Elon Musk. So there's a lot in that statement, and we're going to be diving deep into it. But, you know, he has a point, like the stock has popped up a lot since he has bought into it. But what's pretty interesting is like, while the stock is up a lot since Elon bought in, as he said, it's up around 54% since he bought in, and while $43 billion is a lot of money, it's not a crazy amount of money considering that just a couple months ago, or actually no, just like a year ago, Twitter stock was around $81 a share. So it's like the Twitter board is going to have to make a decision on whether or not they are going to be acquired by Elon Musk. And that's the multi-billion-dollar question. Like, yeah, Elon Musk can say, hey, I have $43 billion in cash and I want to buy Twitter out, but he can't just like make that happen. Like, the board has to allow that to happen. And like I said, that's the multi-billion-dollar question. And for as much as I want Elon Musk to buy Twitter, because I think that he can really turn the platform around, I feel like it's unlikely, if I'm being honest, because one, like, yes, while he is offering a lot of money to buy the company, it's not a game-changing amount of money. Like I said, just last year, the stock was at basically $81, and he's looking to buy it out for $54. So it's like, I feel like at one point, like, it's not a ton of money, but also another point I feel is like, the board that is currently ruling Twitter, if Elon Musk bought Twitter out, I feel like a lot of those board members and a lot of employees within Twitter will have to find a new job. That's just my opinion, but I'm pretty sure Elon will make some pretty big changes, which would result in a lot of people who are currently at Twitter no longer being at Twitter. So that's just my opinion. It could be wrong, but that's what I think. Another thing he said, which is pretty interesting, is obviously my offer is my best and final offer, and if it is not accepted, I would need to reconsider my position as a shareholder. So initially, I and many people thought that the part where he said I would need to reconsider my position as a shareholder, meaning like, all right, if this offer doesn't go through, Elon Musk is going to sell off his stock. But some other people have speculated that this can kind of be hinting at a hostile takeover. That's basically where Elon's like, all right, you guys don't want to accept my offer? I'll just buy enough shares on the open market and I will make myself a majority owner of Twitter. So that's another thing. There's a lot of variables out there right now. The most important thing in like the multi-billion-dollar question is whether or not the Twitter board accepts the offer. If they do, it'll be a relatively simple process and Elon Musk will own Twitter. But if the board doesn't accept the offer, that's where things get complicated. It's like, all right, so does now Elon Musk just sell off of his Twitter position, or does he go the hostile takeover route and just try and take over the company forcefully? If he does that, Twitter can do what's called a poison pill, which can kind of deter Elon Musk from doing that, and it can get all messy. So there's a lot of crazy things going on right now. Some more interesting news that came out is a Saudi prince who is a pretty heavy or pretty large shareholder in Twitter basically said he rejected Elon Musk's offer because it's not enough money. So that was just one thing coming from a major shareholder, but again, it all depends on what the board says. So that's interesting there. Elon Musk just made a tweet showing his SEC filing, which was basically everything we already talked about. Like I said, I really hope this does happen, but I think it's unlikely. Another thing I also want to point out is with Tesla stock. So obviously he made a $43 billion offer cash deal, but even though Elon Musk has a net worth well over $200 billion, and while he is one of the richest men in the world, you don't just have $43 billion sitting around in cash. Like a lot of these billionaires' wealth is tied up in stocks. Specifically for Elon Musk, that's Twitter stock. So it's Tesla stock. So what I'm wondering is, like, let's say this deal does go through, right? And he has to come up with $43 billion cash or any significant amount of money like that. I would not be surprised if he had to sell off some of his Tesla stock to finance that. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and a couple other people were hinting at that too and speculating at that. So I thought that was interesting. Another thing is, I'm sure a lot of people are asking themselves, is now the time to buy Twitter stock? And the answer is, it depends. Like if you really, really think that this deal is going to go through and that Elon Musk will own Twitter, then yeah, it's the time to buy because the stock's at $46.10 at the time of this video. And if the deal goes through, it'll go to $54.20 and you'll get bought out. However, if the deal does not go through, there's a lot of other things that can happen, and it would not be surprising if the stock fell. Like, let's say that the board's like, you know what, Elon? There's no way we're selling you Twitter. Just forget about it. It's never going to happen. If Elon Musk says, all right, well, I tried, I'm done, I'm just going to sell off my position, then, the stock would probably fall. So the answer to whether or not you should buy Twitter is, do you think the deal will go through? If yes, Twitter's not a bad buy right now. If you don't think it's going to go through, then don't play it. So keep that in mind. The stock's going all over the place, though. Like it's been such a roller coaster over like the past couple of weeks. It is crazy, and it's just crazy to think that Elon Musk is trying to buy Twitter. Like I think it would really benefit Twitter if he bought it and then took it private. So let me know what you guys think, because I've been seeing a lot of differing opinions on Twitter today. Some people love it. Some people hate it. So I want to hear your guys' opinions. Like, I'm curious how my audience stands on this topic. So let me know what you guys think about this. Besides that, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I also want to remind you guys that the market will be closed tomorrow on Friday, April 15th. So enjoy the day off. Besides that, if you liked today's video, don't forget to subscribe. And thank you guys so much for watching.